Now at 6, new bombshell revelations in the case against accused killer Ronnie Hyde. Hyde has been in the Duval County Jail since last March, charged with murdering and dismembering 16-year-old Fred Laster in 1994, as well as a dozen child porn charges. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeannie Blaylock.
And I'm Anthony Austin. Hyde has pleaded not guilty. So last Friday, the state released thousands of pages of new information in the case. Well, since then, we've reported several shocking disclosures contained in them. For one, Ronnie Hyde was actually Fred Laster's foster dad. And according to his IRS filings, Hyde claimed the murdered teen and two of his siblings as dependents. Now, Hyde was also a nudist. And according to sworn documents, he was even featured. He was a featured speaker at an annual teen nudist camp, which I don't even understand. So he actually spoke about child predators there. That camp appears to have closed.
All of this very disturbing, to say the least. On your side's Ann Schindler has been sifting through the sea of information for the last several days, and she has the latest for us tonight. Ann?
Fred Laster went missing in June 1994, just a few days before a naked, headless torso was found next to a Lake City dumpster. The gruesome remains weren't linked to the missing teenager until just a couple years ago. But the case wasn't just cold, it was invisible. Laster's missing persons report was accidentally purged from the National Crime Information Center database, or NCIC. It's not clear how that mistake happened or how it may have impaired the investigation. The documents also show Laster's remains were lost and mishandled. When the case was reopened in 2015, investigators learned that significant portions of the child victim were missing. The bones were found about a month later in a bag labeled unknown. We contacted Valerie Rao, head of the medical examiner's office in Jacksonville. She declined to explain what had happened. One final grim discovery in the document release. At least 2 inmates that Hyde counseled at Florida State Prison tell investigators that Hyde engaged in sexually inappropriate behavior with them. One says he was even sexually abused. Ann Schindler, First Coast News, on your side.